Oh, we struggle in all aspects of school.
Yeah.
We had PE down. That's about it.
And lunch.
PE and lunch. That has stayed true to form.
Sean Watson, another step back, which I will say a lot of his problem that O-line. 8 sacks.
Yeah.
8 sacks. That's good.
He's going to be back like when Big came back to the league after the dog hit it.
Yes.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 84 of Benchwarmer's Basement Banter. As you see, we are back in the Discord studio because we've had little computer issues.
We had a catastrophic failure, if we're being completely honest.
It was a catastrophic failure.
We were actually in the midst of getting ready to record last night, and our PC just went straight tits up on us. Like
It said, nah, I'm out, and died, and has not came back yet.
yeah. So we're gonna make this work. We don't know how long exactly yet. It may be back up next week. It may be a couple weeks. But either way, we still have a pretty good Discord set up, and I think we'll manage just fine.
Yes, we will. But we are live now on TikTok. Again, it doesn't hate us for the time being. I applied and it joined back up. I don't know what happened, but it likes us for now. I'll give that a day.
Yeah.
But we also live on Twitch and Kick. You see all that at the very top of the stream that you see, along with all of our other social medias. It's all there. The Discord link is there, so if you wanna join it, you can. And the dogs are running here like crazy. But I am Stat Guy. That is Rogers over there.
Rogers, no Woody tonight.
No Woody tonight.
He was going to be along with us last night, but, things haven't aligned for us tonight.
Yes. But this is episode 84, and we are here to talk about something that we love and something we know TikTok loves, and that is fantasy football.
Yes. And specifically, we're going to talk about some fantasy football quarterback rankings.
Yes. We are going to give our rankings for the best quarterbacks in the league who we think you should try to draft. Obviously, quarterbacks kind of matter a lot, kind of don't, depending on what your strategy is for fantasy football.
Yeah. As you might, if you watched our draft video last year, hint that there's probably going to be one again this year.
Yes.
Well, you'll know that I am the guy that takes the quarterback very late in the draft, and I'm also the guy that missed the playoffs last year. So, I think that you can pick a quarterback late.
Mm-hmm.
Wisely.
Yeah, it just depends. And I was in 3 leagues last year. One of them I had Jalen Hurts. I like having Jalen Hurts a lot. And then I'm trying to. Did I have Jalen Hurts in both the Yahoo leagues? Do you remember?
You might have actually.
Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't.
I think that'll. Think of how ridiculous Saquon Barkley's season would have been last year if Jalen Hurts wasn't a touchdown stealing scam artist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I mean, in reality, that's how their offense works, and it is successful 99% of the time, and there's no reason for him not to do that. But in almost every other offensive scheme, Barkley would have been even more insane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't see the Shiva League for some reason on here. It only shows the BBB one. So, anyways, I think I had Hurts in both leagues, and that was kind of my strategy. I think last year you got him. I was able to get him decently late. Usually I target a mid-round QB. I think Hurts ended up being that. I don't think he's going to be that low this year.
No, I still think that you could probably snag him in like the 4th or 5th round, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I think I was like 6th or 7th last year on where I got him. So, all right, let's how you want to do this? You want to do this in tiers of like these are the really good guys. These guys are good. These guys might be able to take a risk on them. I think we're gonna do 20, 24 or so.
Okay. I've got the top 25 from ESPN
Okay,
written.
we'll do 25.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. This year
Uh,
though, nothing really goes crazy for the rookies. I think that kind of matters a little bit. But let's start off with tier one. These are bona fide superstars. Who you taking here, Rogers?
I'm going to give you 5 here, and I think that these top 5 are the bona fide superstars, the guys that you take in the early rounds, and the only ones that are really worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So start off with my number 1 and ESPN number 1's or number 1 both is Lamar Jackson.
Okay, I've got Fantasy Pros up. He is number 2 on Fantasy Pros.
Okay. So honestly, that's fair. That they were neck and neck in the MVP race. I think there's an argument that Lamar could have had his 3rd in a row there.
He could have, but then again, the year before, it was so weird, and I know we got into this discussion a lot last year, or I did at least, that the year before Lamar shouldn't have won it, and Josh should have won it.
Yeah, agreed.
And it was almost like a payback year for some reason.
It was Josh's turn, what it came.
It was, because he had a better year the year before than Lamar did, for sure.
Agreed.
And
yeah,
Lamar had a better year last year than he did that year, so I don't know. It's weird, but I don't think anybody really hated that. I mean, I'm sure people hated that Josh got it, but he should have won it the year before anyways. So
I'm not upset with either one of those guys. I can be old Tony La Russa.
1A, 1B. Yeah, exactly. I would agree. The only Josh gets the edge a little bit for me because he's more durable.
Yes, I'll counter that with I think Lamar has a
higher upside,
a rushing upside.
Yeah, I would agree. But if you want the guy you're going to pencil in every start and not, Lamar misses 2 or 3 games a year, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how good he is. He can miss 2 or 3 games a year and still be, arguable number 1 guy. So,
okay. Yeah. If that's going to be my 1A, 1B,
mm-hmm.
I'm going with my 3rd overall to actually not – I'm not going to match up with ESPN here because number 3 for them is Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Joe Burrow at 3.
Okay. All right. Of course, the Bengals fan in me loves that.
I'm a sucker for a true pocket passer, and that's what Joe Burrow is. And – while the fantasy numbers aren't there on the rushing side as much as what ESPN, the other 2 guys ahead of him, like Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels, I think Joe Burrow's gonna have so many weapons again this year, and it's still gonna be so bad.
Yep. He's gonna be slinging it. And I think this is we'll get to running backs, but Chase Brown is going to be a pretty big part of that offense, I think.
Yep. I agree with that.
And I don't think it's just running the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 3 great receivers. He's got a good tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a great arm. Obviously, he's one of the best passers in the league, if not the best pure passer in the league right now, especially with the downturn that Mahomes has taken the last 2 years, really, or 1 year at least. Right now, I want to say that the best passer, the best ball thrower in the league is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. I mean, if the Bengals defense would have been average, he'd have won MVP last year.
If the Bengals defense would have been average, they were probably in the FC Championship. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because he didn't need a whole lot more help. He was losing games like 35-32 and 42-39, stuff like that.
His haircut helps too.
He did get a new haircut. I did see that.
Get a new haircut. Doesn't look like more.
Yeah. Yeah, but Fantasy Bros has him as number 5 overall, but have him in tier.
Has them as well.
They have him in tier 2. I I think he deserves to be in tier 1.
Yep.
But I don't hate him being number 5.
Okay. So who do you have above him? I'd mentioned that ESPN.
I've got Hurts and Daniels above him. I do agree
Okay.
with that.
With Hurts being right there, I've got Hurts in my 4 slot.
You're thinking Daniels going to have a sophomore slump?
Yes, absolutely. I think that he had a great rookie season, and he's going to be a great quarterback. However, I believe that we had C.J. Stroud in our top 5 last year. A lot of people did. And you saw what happened to him.
Fun fact, C.J. Stroud is younger than Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there.
What I'm getting at is, while I do think he's going to have a bit of a sophomore slump, I don't think it'll be anywhere near that extreme because Jaden Daniels is in a better system. He's on a better team.
Yeah, I would say that.
Offensive line, I should say. That Texas is solid.
Yeah, that's where he's going. That's why it took me a second. I'm like, what do you mean? Which they did get weapons. They got Debo. Now they went big and swung there. I think they may have got some other pieces too. So they went and they're going after their rookie quarterback and trying to get there for sure. But I think his
not looking like a fullback though.
Yeah, but I think Daniels. He's a better passer than like say Lamar, and he's almost as good of a runner. So I don't think he's gonna hurt as bad as like CJ did. CJ's a straight passer. Do what?
Yeah, the fantasy upside is definitely through the roof.
Yeah.
I do not hate him being in that discussion. I'm gonna put him a little bit lower. Actually, I think that I'm gonna put, as I said, a pure pocket passer guy. I want to put the Bake Show above him.
I don't hate that. Bake Show's got a lot of weapons. He's got a lot of weapons.
I've got the Bake Show above him, and that's really all I've got. Okay. Is Burrow above Jaden Daniels and Baker above Jaden Daniels.
Okay. So do you have Hurts above Burrow?
Yes. Okay. I or not above Burrow. I've got him right after Burrow. I've got Hurts.
Okay. You got Burrow, Hurts. Okay. We don't want to skip over Hurts. He's obviously he gets the touchdowns, even with Saquon. It doesn't matter. But also best offensive line, best team in the league. He's gonna run some. He's not gonna get crazy rushing numbers, but he's gonna run.
I mean, the only thing that you could run into with Hurts is that sometimes his passing can be less than great. Mm-hmm. And sometimes he's going to just stop passing because that team's going to be up a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But the touchdowns make up for it.
Oh, for sure. He is top-tier fantasy quarterback. But that is why I've got him below. Yes. Okay.
So, I mean, we're pretty well, other than calling Josh and Lamar 1A, 1B, we're very close on this. And, my next guy would have been Baker over Mahomes for sure.
Yep.
I think Baker's weapons are way better than Mahomes.
Yeah. For a couple down fantasy years for Mahomes, it's to the point now, even though you're a 3-time MVP, 4-time Super Bowl winner, you're going to have to show me again.
Yeah, and I still don't believe in the offense there. I just don't.
Yeah. I am Patrick Mahomes after Baker. Mm-hmm. But that'll put him at 7 overall, which is not much.
I mean, I'm probably putting the next guy on my list above him. Your favorite quarterback.
Bo Nix?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm a big Bo believer.
Mm-hmm.
I think on ESPN's list right here, they've got him at 8, and I think he's properly ranked.
That's where he is here, but I would put him at 7 over Mahomes.
Okay. I don't hate it, and I mean I want to be there with you. If I can't put Jaden Daniels high up because of a sophomore slump, I can't do my guy Bo either. Even though Bo is like 30.
Yeah, that's very true. And he's literally set the record for most games started as a college football quarterback. Michael Penix not far behind him either. there. Um, dogs are playing. um,
Okay, so let's do a quick recap here. Where do you have yours as far as? I mean, we both agreed on the Lamar and Josh Allen 1A,
Yes.
1B.
Yep.
You kept with Jaden Daniels at 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, I put Joe Burrow at 3.
Yep.
And then I think, did you
I
keep
keep-
Jalen?
I kept Jalen Hurts 4 and then Burrow.
Okay, so I went Burrow, Hurts, Daniels.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
And then we go Baker. You went Patrick. I went Bo Nix.
And then Mahomes.
And then Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So we have the same top 8, just a little bit ranked out.
Yeah, ranked a little different. I think that's probably going to be consensus, and I understand changing them around or something. Seeing where they end up.
Gets a little muddled. I think that those are pretty clearly your top 8 quarterbacks. We have a technical difficulty. It appears that the dogs have indeed been let out. And that leads us to the question, ladies and gentlemen, who did let the dogs out?
They were never put up to begin with. I don't know why they decided to get fired up and play, but that's what's going to happen during the recording, apparently. Oh, now they're in here. So, all right. So now we're gonna move. So that's kind of tier 1, tier 2. 5 tier 1s, 3 tier 2s is how I have it.
I'm good at that. I'm good at that.
Tier 3. Now this is where I can see it getting muddied, and this is where some of these guys that'll be, if you're waiting on a somebody. Waiting later in the draft to pick somebody. This may be somebody that you want to get.
Okay.
So
I agree.
Who you got at 9?
I'm way off with ESPN on this one. I do not agree with ESPN's rankings at all when we get to this tier.
Yeah, I could see that. I could understand that.
So ESPN at 9 has Kyler Murray. In my opinion, I don't have Kyler Murray making my top 15.
Oh, but real quick, I forgot Woody sent in a drive, and it's kind of fucked up. But he has in his first tier, so he goes Allen, Jackson, Daniels, Burrow, Hurts, Baker. He's got Kyler at 7.
See, he's always super high on Kyler.
Yeah.
He drafted Kyler last year in our draft.
He did.
Kyler Murray. But we all know, love you, Woody, but you get stuck on your guys sometimes.
He does that.
You get stuck on your guys sometimes. I don't have Kyler breaking my top 15.
Let me look here. I have him. I would probably put him 1, 2, 3. He's probably 4th or 5th on my list of these tier 3 guys, which I'm looking here on Fantasy Pros. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. They got 7 guys in that list.
Okay, so I mean you got them being like QB 11, 12, somewhere in there.
No, because there's 1 guy, 2 guys. No. I disagree with their list as it gets further down here. I would probably have Kyler right around 15.
Okay. That's close to where I'll have him.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit less. Yeah.
Fantasy Pros has him way down here, and I don't get it. Other than he was hurt, but he still had some good games. I would probably look at Jordan Love as my next guy.
So, glad you said it before the Packers homer here did. Yeah. I've got Jordan Love here.
Yeah. I think...
Not to be. Like, he's a good runner. He's a great passer. He's got weapons. Him and Matthew Golden is going to be a problem.
Yeah. There's going to be some interceptions in there. He's
Yeah.
he's a little gunslinger-ish, but I don't hate
If
it.
we were concerned about that, we would have said it about Baker. He does the same thing.
Exactly. Baker's weapons are way better.
Yeah. Yes.
So that
Honestly,
helps.
better for weapons than what Baker's got.
Only Burrow.
Yeah. Fair.
And it's more that Chase is so far up to top and T is not far behind. He doesn't really have the third guy, but who needs a third guy when those are your first two?
Exactly. When 1 and 2 are always open, why do you need 3?
Yeah, exactly. One is the probably going to be number 1 overall fantasy pick this year, and the number 2 is top 20.
I would say so.
But anyways, yeah. Back on this, it's Jordan Love here. I agree. I think it's Love.
ESPN has him at 17, which is blasphemous in my opinion.
So Woody, yeah, Fantasy Pros has him at 17 as well. Woody has him at 11.
Okay.
With this Kyler pick in there, he also has Mahomes. He's got Herbert in there ahead of him.
Okay. I've got Herbert being my next guy.
I was thinking Herbert would be my next guy too.
So
Jared Goff right there with him though.
Okay. I don't hate that.
Because of Goff's weapons.
Yes.
Because
yes.
you said who has as good of weapons as Baker. Goff actually might have as good of weapons as Baker.
Yeah, especially since Godwin's going to be out this season.
Yep, exactly.
If not all of it.
Yeah. So, but we'll go Love here at 9 for sure, and then Herbert at 10.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
Okay. Herbert's just almost as good of a pocket passer as there is. Burrow's a little ahead of him. I think that's more just Burrow's has to, and his
Burrow's better team.
better team. I think they're very close as far as the passing, anyways. And Burrow's got a better offense, anyways. Team, I don't actually think they're that much different.
No.
At all. So that was 10. I got Goff at 11. Who you got there?
Yep.
You got Goff?
I am on the same page with the Goff.
Okay.
I have a feeling we stopped being the same.
Possibly. Woody would be about the same if it wasn't for Kyler. Okay. I actually think my next guy would be Drake May.
Okay. Yep. It's going to be a while before I get to Drake May. Just because of that offense has to show me something first.
It does, but May was like borderline right there on a top 12 startable last year with a shit offense because he can run, and he was very good.
He is.
It's more just looking here at. I think his upside is higher than anybody else's, and if I'm drafting that low, I would like a higher upside.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back to the well here.
Okay.
And I'm going to put CJ Stroud there.
Fair enough. I don't hate it.
I think that last year was bad in a lot of ways because of how terrible that offensive line was.
Yeah. And the injuries to his weapons was terrible.
Exactly.
It was just all the bad luck they could have, and they still made the playoffs.
Exactly.
So he was very good.
That was in my opinion, going into the season, I thought that was the top 5 team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Maybe even top 3.
And
so
if their line would have played like it did the year before and they don't have the injuries, I do think they are there.
Yes. And Stroud's got to be off his butt more than he was last year.
Yeah. But I don't hate Stroud there for the 12th guy.
I didn't figure you would, but I think that a lot of people are kind of forgetting him. That's a sleeper pick.
They've got him 19th here.
Yeah.
And
bet him 8.
We're talking top 12 to be high enough to be, if you're in a 12-man league, he'll be one of the starting quarterbacks drafted. if you draft that low, I would definitely try to get one of the next guys for your quarterback as well.
Yeah.
I think for 13, boy, who are you going with? Because I haven't even decided yet. We'll call it 12-team league, so this will be the first backup quarterback if you're gonna have one. Super
Hurts
flex guy.
It hurts my heart that I have to say this name first.
Okay, I know where you're going exactly, and I was contemplating it.
I'm going.
He cut out, but he's going Caleb Williams. I read his lips, and that was who
Yep.
I was contemplating here. More again for the upside. I think.
Okay,
I think it's there.
I think that we talked about the sophomore slump thing with Daniels and Nix. I think that Williams kind of had a freshman slump. Like,
I agree, and that offensive line was terrible, and they spent everything to make it better. He's still got good weapons. Keenan Allen is retired, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where he went. But he's still got Odunze, who I think is still going to be good. You got DJ Moore. They got Colston Loveland now. And DeAndre Swift is still a pretty decent running back. Did they get another running back, too?
I think
they did. It was later. It was later than everyone thought they would.
Yeah. Rain check. We'll hit that when we go fantasy running backs.
Yes.
I think Caleb Williams has got all the weapons to succeed. He's got the line to succeed. I've said it a million times on this show. I'll say it again. Rookie quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, love tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
What Bears go and do? They got him a top 15 pick.
Top 10 pick on tight end. I think he was 10.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I would agree here. And the upside with Caleb's pretty high. Like it can go crazy. Like he could honestly go off and be like borderline. Yeah, I think he could borderline be an MVP if things would go the right way. It just has to go the right way.
Agreed.
I think he has the talent. I mean, all the other things against him, yeah, some people don't like him, blah, blah, blah. He's got the talent. It's there. So you go Caleb on your 13th. I would probably go Stroud here because I hadn't taken him, but I would probably go Caleb 14.
Okay.
For me.
I'm obviously okay with that. I put Stroud above Caleb as well.
Yeah. Who would you be your next guy?
For me, the next guy is just because he's still on the board. I'm going Brock Purdy.
Okay.
He is a great quarterback. I am scared of his situation this year. I will say that.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that team is borderline in shambles in comparison to what it's been the entire time he's been there.
Yep.
It'll be kind of a gut check for Brock, if that makes sense. Because right now he's kind of I've always seen him as kind of like a Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a great quarterback that's been put in a great situation. Mm-hmm. Let's see if he can do it again when he's in a great situation anymore.
I think a top end for him is a little higher than Jimmy from what I've seen so far. And,
I'm okay with that.
And we're gonna say that as we like Jimmy. He was at EIU. We watched him play at some point in time.
Just it never really panned out for him, you know.
No, but he made a lot of money. He made a killing.
He sure did.
He got the most out of his talent for the amount of money he made.
Playoff games,
made it to Super Bowl, man. Started a Super Bowl, almost won.
Yeah, he has a ring, maybe even two. Yeah,
he does. You're right. So yeah, I don't hate Purdy there. I'm probably a little more scared of that situation. I'm gonna take a swing here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go JJ McCarthy.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's not a huge swing.
It's not a huge swing. It's close, and I feel like these guys here are pretty close. I think that situation's pretty good, And
Yeah.
I think the head coach there, O'Connell, is a great offensive head coach. And he got hurt last year. He had to sit there. He's just as talented as Darnold, and he still learned a lot sitting there, even though he's rehabbing.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to be like, well, the legs aren't going to be there because has the knee injury. Sam Darnold has no legs, and you saw what he did with that offense.
Yeah, and it'll take him a little bit, but that was an early preseason knee injury too.
Yeah, he's had a lot of recovery time. Like, it's literally been a year at this point.
Yeah,
we're like working on, in a month, he's going to be a full year recovery.
Yep, exactly.
By the time he starts, it'll be a year and a couple months.
Yep, for sure. But I mean, he's got one. We'll get into wide receivers. Everybody knows it's 1A, 1B for the LSU boys.
Yeah.
It ain't real close for anybody to touch either of those guys. So he's got that guy. You got Addison. You got Hawkinson. You still got what's his name, running back, Packers guy.
Oh, shoot, Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. He can catch out of the backfield.
Yep.
I think I would probably, as we get to these lower quarterbacks, or not really lower, but these second, we'll call these third and fourth tier guys. I like taking a little swing.
So we're 9.
We're at 14.
That was number 14, or we?
That was number 14.
Okay.
So I'm going.
Who do you have?
I'm going Kyler with 15.
Okay.
So that's what I said. I said top 5 or top 15. I think his upside is too high to let him go any further.
Okay. So I'm going to go Drake May.
Okay. Also a pretty high upside guy.
I am going to go Drake May there. What's Woody got in this range? I know he loved him some Drake.
I forgot. So I forgot. I didn't even look at Woody. So he had 12. He had Goof. 13. He had Caleb Williams. 14. Okay. He has Dak.
I don't know if Dak top 20.
He says some things don't die. Addition of Pickens and having to play in shootouts in its division help fantasy upside.
I will say that Pickens and CD might be kind of
that talent rivals the Bengals top 2.
Just because CD's right there being the 1A, 1-2 with Jamar.
Yeah. And then he's got 15. He's got Justin Fields.
Okay. That's fine.
He has quote biggest gamble, easy top 10 upside, could get benched is what he says, and that's neither of us have got to Justin Fields yet, but I was definitely thinking about him. And I agree 100%. So, who'd you have again? You said for 15.
I had Drake May.
Yeah, Drake. Okay. All right. 16. Looking at my guys, I'd probably go Fields on 16, honestly.
Okay. It's going to be a little bit before I get to Fields, but I am finally getting Kyler Murray off my board.
Okay. You're 16 for Kyler. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm finally getting Kyler Murray off my board. We've already talked about him. Yeah. It's just he's not been the same since that rookie year that was spectacular. I think that he's going to have to show me something, and right now I'm not risking drafting him.
Yeah. Yep, I don't hate that either. I'm not taking Kyler, but he's going to be drafted is the thing. And he's going to have a few big games.
He's going to have a couple games, probably.
Yeah. His top end is like damn near Lamar.
Yeah, I guess.
There was that one year they started off undefeated, and he was like legit the fantasy MVP for a while.
Yeah, I mean, he was legitimately the MVP favorite until week 10.
Yeah, also that. So, all right. So that was number 16. 17. Woody has Trevor Lawrence.
Me too.
17. You have Trevor Lawrence as well. I'm gonna go Dak.
Okay. Okay.
I think Dak does have some weapons.
Yeah.
But here, once I get that low, man, I don't even hardly want to draft another quarterback.
This is drafting a backup at this point, and I am not draft a backup quarterback.
That is true. You don't.
I do not, because you know why? You can just get one off the waiver wire that's probably not going to have a roster spot for you when you can just get a million running backs.
Yeah. Well, no, wide receivers. Get it right.
Or wide receivers,
That was your team last year. Get it right.
Yeah.
I
wide receiver heavy. It never works.
No, well, it didn't work last year. Well, you guys got Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has weapons. It is a do or die year this year, I feel like, for him.
Yes.
You got BTJ, who we'll see where he ends up in wide receivers, but man, I think that's a arguably top 5 guy, possibly.
I would struggle to keep him out of my top 10.
I think he's definitely top 10. I think I could, if you're buying the upside there that he'll be a sophomore coming in, and he's an LSU product. It might be that high. He might be Justin Jefferson to Jamar Chase kind of deal, or he might be the Justin Jefferson for Malik Neighbors that like JJ is for Jamar, as far as where they got drafted. Except these two are the same draft.
We have wide receiver coming up. That's going to be a fun episode. Probably our best one. I love me.
Definitely the longest. It's going to take forever.
There's 25 great receivers in this league.
Then we're going to have to do like a top 60.
I am not opposed to at least top 40.
That's just wide receiver 2s, dude.
Fair.
But
Fair.
Anyways, all right, 17, T-Law, Dak.
Okay.
18, I'm grasping for straws. I tell you what, I almost want to go Cam Ward.
He's going to be given every opportunity to start.
Every opportunity to start. I think he's a gunslinger. It's going to be hit and miss, but he's got some upside. And I would rather buy the upside.
Hey, I love my pocket passers, and Cam Ward falls in love with a pocket. That's for sure.
He does.
I think that while I don't hate the pick, I am scared to pick him because of some of the stuff that I saw with him in Miami. Because I think that he's going to get his shit rocked.
Yeah.
To be quite, he falls in love with that pocket. He needs to get it moving a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember seeing videos of where he will legitimately just like stand straight up and down in a pocket and sit there and wait because he had so much time in Miami all the time. That's not going to happen in the NFL. He's going to get put on his ass. At 17,
18.
I'm going to go 18. At 18, I'm going to go with, I like my veterans. I'm going to go Stafford.
I contemplated Stafford there too.
I'm going to go Stafford. Dak Prescott, I'm going to go ahead and give him like the tie there. I want both guys right there in the same spot.
Yeah.
Stafford because of
Puka and Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And they got a tight end, I believe, too. They got one of the top tight ends, I think. Did they get the Taylor kid?
I don't know. Tyler Warren?
No, the Taylor kid. Let me look. And Stafford's just going to be Stafford.
Don't they still have Higbee at tight end?
They do, but they got Higbee, they got Ferguson, they got Parkinson.
Okay, Ferguson was kind of a big deal before he got hurt last year.
I think though Ferguson might be the. Did he get hurt last year, or I think he was their pick? He was the Oregon guy.
Oh, not the first, like
that's
the Indianapolis.
Parkinson you're thinking of.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he was round 2, pick 46, tight end. So he was one of the top tight ends picked, and so I mean they got Higbee, but I we'll get to that. But I think that could be another weapon for Stafford there. Woody's got CJ here. He's way lower on CJ, which
Just a got to get him off the board sort of thing, I'd say.
yeah, and Woody. That's generally what he does for some reason.
Yeah.
Woody will find a narrative and he beats it to death. Big time. 19. I'm gonna buy this guy's weapons.
Stafford?
Penix.
Penix, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I mean, as I said, we get this low, and I
He
would
looked
probably.
good.
He did.
Taking over.
He looked good. They've got weapons. They've got weapons everywhere, even though everybody hates Kyle Pitts, but he's still a weapon.
Yeah. I'm not drafting him. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Me neither. But you got Bijan out of the backfield. You got Drake London. What's the other guy that came on strong last year for the Falcons too? For his wide receiver, was it Mooney?
Yeah, Mooney was actually right there with the London in almost every way.
Like he was really good.
They were well with each other as far as fantasy.
Yes, they did. They looked really well. So I'm just kind of taking that. But I would also put Stafford here. I'll give him a tie for that one.
Okay.
Stafford's gonna Stafford. So who you got here at 20?
I'm gonna finally break out Justin Fields.
Okay.
I think that he is number 20, but I'm gonna agree with Woody that there is some top 10 upside there.
I think everybody knows that.
It's the Jets.
I knew that you were gonna say that when we got to him.
The Jets.
Yeah. It is the
That's
Jets.
where quarterbacks go to die.
That's where damn near everybody goes to die. At this point.
Yeah, that's my big holdup. That's why I had Justin Fields this low. I think the talent is there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got great legs, and the arm talent's not bad. It's not super
good, but it's not bad. I agree.
Yeah.
He's never had a good line. The Jets sure spent a lot of money on it last year, and again this year. So
yeah,
maybe it'll be improved. Without the circus of whatever they else got going on there, some franchises just can't franchise.
Yeah.
They're not the worst dumpster fire in the league, but they're damn close.
So at this point, we've broken the top 20.
Yeah. I'm going to say Brock Purdy would be my next guy. I'm not used to him. Then after that, I'd probably take a flyer on Bryce Young.
Okay, I don't dislike that at all.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay, I'm ready to hear you out. Rodgers.
He's not on anyone's top 25.
He is number 28. He's going to have one of the most talented wide receivers he's ever had, so that he can throw the ball to.
There were his counting numbers were not bad last year.
No, they weren't.
He
at all.
was a bad guys. He was on a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the prime MVP Rodgers. We're not going to see anything like that. There's a reason why I've got him outside of my top 20. But that's still 4-time MVP Aaron Rodgers out there, and got to sling a ball.
He is a slinger. He's the best ball thrower of all time, honestly.
Yes. Which is the exact term that you and I have both used for him for years.
Yeah.
He's not the best quarterback of all time. He is the best ball thrower.
Yeah.
There's a difference in a lot.
There's a difference. Peyton's up there as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. His ball throwing skills are awful.
I wouldn't go awful, but they were.
You know what I mean. It was not pretty. It was not pretty. He didn't have the arm. Rodgers has the best arm possibly all time.
Yeah.
As far as the cannon and the precision, it's the best blend. The accuracy.
The decision.
There's probably guys that have better, more explosive. I would probably say Stafford is really close, to be honest about it. On all those, Rodgers has always said, he's like, you guys do not give Stafford the credit he deserves.
Oh, you got to play him twice a year for
Yeah,
nearly.
he is big time on. Stafford is one of the best of all time because he's like, I got to see it all the time. It is
A
ridiculous.
lot of stats point to that.
It does. It does. And I would say like Josh has a cannon, obviously too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't hate Rodgers there at all. Tua's up there, but he'll get hurt.
Yeah, that's where I've got my two. My McCarthy.
You got Gino in Las Vegas. He's gonna be throwing a lot of balls to Genty.
Your quarterback. You got one hurt, one on a bye. Geno Smith's always there for you, man.
He is exactly. And he's gonna throw. He may not. They do have Ashton Genty there.
Yeah,
but they also
put up some numbers.
But they also have Brock Bowers.
Yes,
and he is gonna throw the ball to Brock Bowers a lot.
Guys who are in their 30s, our age, that have been playing fantasy football for a long time. This is your Andy Dalton, man.
Yeah.
Geno Smith is your Andy Dalton. He's not going to do anything spectacular, but he's going to give you 15 points.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm pretty sure I had him starting a decent amount of games in my ESPN league last year.
Yeah. I mean, he's nothing flashy, but he's going to get the job.
Yeah. On here they have Darnold ranked right behind him. I mean, that's gonna I'm gonna have to see it with that line.
Yeah, I think that.
I know you're low on him with that line.
Maybe in ghosts again.
Yeah. He does have JSN, which I think it's not Justin Jefferson, but all of his other years of starting, that's his second best wide receiver he's thrown to.
Hey, JSN is fringe top 15 receivers.
Yep, for sure.
He's a wide receiver one on fantasy.
Yep. And then he's gonna have Kenneth Walker there, so as well. I think they got someone else too, but I can't think of who it was. But after that, I mean, it falls off a cliff pretty hard. There's not been anyone really in that tier 4 that we haven't talked about. If you want to throw some darts on somebody, you can't even hardly throw one on Jackson Dart because he's got 2 guys in front of him.
Yeah, and same with Shadur. 2 guys in front of him, technically.
They have him as number 35. They've got him behind Flacco. Flacco's 32.
If Flacco thinks that Shadur is ready, he will give that spot up willingly.
Yeah, probably. They got AR here at 29. They have AR and Daniel Jones interchangeable.
That's horseshit. That name.
Oh, shit.
I'm talking to ESPN and Fantasy Pros. Horse shit.
Oh, shit.
You got backup quarterbacks above a 4-time MVP.
No, they're lower than that.
35? There's only 32 quarterbacks in the league.
Rodgers is 28.
Gotcha. I thought you said 35.
No.
I'm like,
no.
Bullshit.
That was Shador.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm a little bit less angry now.
You were very angry, and that would have been understandable, but you heard it wrong.
At a 4-time MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss. We don't have starters that are below him, which is stupid.
No. So, all right, that has been our quarterbacks here. Make sure to follow us on all the social media that you see. We're going to get back to posting stuff on TikTok. Shout out being able to be live on TikTok. Hopefully it continues because I like being live on TikTok for fantasy football. And follow us on Twitch, Kick if you're watching. This will be on YouTube maybe tomorrow. Follow us on Facebook. I am Stat Guy.
I'm Rogers. Stay classy, Southern Illinois, and America.
All right. Peace out.